So the Apocalypse of Paul, and this will be true for the Apocalypse of Peter too, do not make it into the New Testament, do not make it into the Bible. Yet you said it was still an important document for, I guess, the next 1,000 years, if it, or near 1,000 years, if it got into the hands of Dante. Was that controversial? How did that work out?
Yeah, it would be controversial today, probably, in churches that have a Bible with, a New Testament with 27 books, and you go to the bookstore, and it's always the same 27 books. And then if somebody came along and started using the Apocalypse of Paul, people, at least Protestants would say, no, that's later. And so, but, throughout the Middle Ages, most people didn't really have that view of the Bible, that it was this thing that you would buy in a bookstore between two covers. For one thing, nobody could read. I mean, very few people could read. And even the books that even the people could read, they rarely had an entire collection in their hands. They certainly considered the 27 books throughout the Middle Ages. The 27 books we have now, were, if you ask any theologian, they would have said, yes, those are the authoritative Word of God. But most of them would say there are other valuable books and that can teach us things. And so there were a number of books that were important for Christian thinking and Christian imagination. One that is not related to this book that we're talking about now, my book, is called the Proto-Gospel of James. Hugely significant. It is about the birth of Mary, and about how Mary lived such a sanctified life and why she was chosen to be the one to bear Jesus. And you get things from that book that people still think today. They don't know they think about it because of this. But, like in all the artwork you see of Joseph and Mary going to Bethlehem, for example, right? She's riding on a donkey and she's a young woman and he's an old guy, right? Like in all of these paintings, that's not in the New Testament. Where's that come from? It comes from the Proto-Gospel of James. And so, and then you get on the other end of things. One of the books I do deal with in this book on the journeys to heaven and hell is a book called the Gospel of Nicodemus. I deal at length with that one in my book. It's a little bit late. It's later than the Apocalypse of Paul, but the Gospel of Nicodemus is where you get the idea of what happened to Jesus between his death and resurrection. You got this missing period. Like he dies on a Friday, he rises on a Sunday. What's he doing? Is he just is he not existing? Is he, did he go to heaven for a while and just take a break, or what's going on? And this is in this text is where we learn that he actually goes down to Hades to deliver the saints who are down in Hades, to preach the gospel down there, so that somebody's not disadvantaged by having been born before Jesus died. His salvation works for both ends. And so this becomes what's known as the harrowing of hell tradition. So this became a prominent doctrine in the thinking in the Middle Ages, that Christ went down and saved the souls in prison. And the first narrative expression, the one that really made the big difference, is this Gospel of Nicodemus, not in the New Testament.